Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hello everybody, Kieran aka The Laird here, and I've got a special book not review for you today. And I say not review because it's my own book, and I've said this before, when I do these videos of my own books, they aren't reviews. I merely put review in the title for SEO purposes, because then it comes up on search, more likely to come up on searches when people are looking for it. I'm just giving people a look at it. And this book officially came out just before Christmas to order. But because of Christmas post and bank holidays and delays and stuff, my copies were very late in coming. Apparently, Amazon prioritised customer orders at Christmas. So if you're an author and you're waiting for a copy of your own book, you have to wait, even though it's Amazon who are printing it. Which is kind of annoying because it probably means that there are people out there who ordered this who actually got their book before me. Obviously, I'd seen the digital version, but I hadn't seen the finished covered versions. I'll go into that more about that in a little while. But yeah, so I'm and I posted this in a few groups online, telling people that it was out and could be ordered and stuff, social media, Twitter and Facebook, etc. And lots of people, the first question they asked was if they could see more of the inside of the book, because Amazon doesn't really give you a look at that with print books. It does with Kindle books, but doesn't really do it with the print books. So I was happy. Obviously, said hold fire. I'm happy to do a video showing you some of the inside of the book. So we will do that in due course. So it is, as you probably already know, the a compendium of Amstrad CPC games, Volume 1, by me, using a similar cover actually to the one that was designed for my Kindle books, and I really liked that cover. I have no responsibility for the covers. I don't do them. There is an artist at my publisher. He does all the covers for the books and stuff. So he does all the covers for my books. He does a tremendous job. She does a tremendous job. Slip of the tongue there, because actually I'm getting mixed up because there's two people who help me with my books. One's male, one's female. So she does the covers. She does a really good job of the covers. So thank you very much for your hard work on those, Jen. And and I really love this cover, even like with the tape counter there that says 464. Great little touch. I mean, all she did really was she put some screenshots and stuff on. So she changed it slightly from the PDF books that came before, which I'll go into again in a minute. This is the hardback one here. So you can see there's some bit about it on the back. Contains interviews with Darren White, designer of Oh Mummy, Kevin Toms, creator of Football Manager, and Martin Hooley, founder of prolific developers Imagitech Design. So that's the hardcover, and then here is the paperback edition. Really, the only difference is that thing in the top corner that says Collector's Edition, which this one, the paperback doesn't have that. The hardback does. That's the real only difference. Obviously, the price. So this one is $9.99 in the UK. Prices differ in different countries because it is available worldwide. You can order it from any version of Amazon, whether you be in France, Germany, Spain, Canada, America, wherever you are, because Amazon print the book, so as part of their POD service. So yeah, and $16.99 on the hardback. So yes, so this is the new book. It obviously follows on from previous books that I've done, and I've got those here. So we'll try and do them in chronological order. I think I've got this in the right order. We had a compendium of ZX Spectrum games. We had a compendium of Atari 2600 games. Then I did a compendium of Atari 8-bit games. A compendium of Commodore 64 games. A compendium of Atari ST games, which has gone down really well indeed. And actually the template for the CPC book was very, very closely based on the one for this Atari ST book. And the most recent before this was my Compendium of Sega Master System games. Still love that cover, really, really good. So yes, it follows on from those. This is the latest one. And I do have several more in the works that are going to be coming out, including an arcade book, a Mega Drive book, and an MSX book to give you a taste of what's coming in the future. I did mention actually those in another video recently, little promo video I did specifically for my books. So yeah, so let's go into these books a little bit more. In the background there is my own Amstrad CPC, which has been featured on my channel many times before. I've heard people say before that I do books on machines that I don't own, which is patently untrue. And obviously, I'm showing here I do very much have a 464, and I also have a 6128 as well, which is in my garage. This was the easy one to get to, and I like the fact it's big and bulky, and I can stand all the games along the top of it. So I went for a nice Amsoft selection along the top, because they all kind of match. I thought it looked good. So yeah, let's have a look at the book. Okay, I don't want to go through the whole book, as I say on these things, because I obviously don't want to give it all away. So I'll just sort of show you some bits of it, so to speak, as we go. So I've already shown you the covers. So just explain actually, as I always do on these videos, I've already mentioned the Kindle books, which are the A to Z of Amstrad CPC games, volumes 1, 2 and 3. All of those are contained within this book. So all 3 of those books are in here, plus 26 bonus reviews, because each of those books has 3 games for each letter of the alphabet. So I add an extra 1 onto that for this print book, so it's exclusive content there, to make it 10 games for each letter of the alphabet. The developer interviews that are in this, as I've already mentioned, aren't in any of the Kindle books. The developer interviews are exclusive to the compendiums. They are another feature, because there was a couple of people in one of the groups who asked me what the difference was, so I just wanted to make sure I explained it properly. So if we open the book up, we'll see we've got our usual opening messages. The publisher AG Books, obviously me as author, all the usual copyright bump. So another thing actually I want to address quickly, I'll say about the copyright bump is, someone said recently that one of my book, a couple of my books or something, used stolen artwork on the covers. So I just want to address that point, because a couple of people asked me about it. All of the covers are done by the publisher, as I already mentioned. The publisher pays to access a very, very, very large image library. So they have the rights to use all the images that they put on the books. And actually, in some cases, they specifically created the images that are used. In fact, in most cases, they've specifically created most of the images used in the books. But for example, my Atari 8-bit book has, a picture of an Atari 800 on the front, they licensed the use of that image for that book. So there we go, just to cover that off. So I literally just write the books. My publisher do the design, they do the layout design, they do the covers. That is all their part of the bargain, so to speak. It is a team effort. I couldn't do these books on my own. So they're really great. They take my ideas on board, certainly. But the ultimate design that they come up with is theirs, and I'm really pleased. I really love the job they do with it. So I've just gone to the first review there. You can see with the big letters, but there is a contents page, obviously, that lists all of the games. So that's what we've got. Each bit is introduced by the letter in a nice big blocky text, and then we have the reviews. So it will have the publisher, the year, and a score out of 10 and a screenshot with the reviews. Obviously it's very subjective, obviously, what scores you give games. I'm not expecting everyone to agree with me. In terms of the reviews themselves, someone asked if they were the same as the ones in the Kindle books. Some will be, some won't be, because some reviews have been edited or rewritten from those in the Kindle, where perhaps I might have made there might be a typo that I missed. There might have been a factual error that I missed when they were being proofread, that either I or the proofreader missed. So as much as possible, I've tried to edit any of those mistakes out of those. Although actually, quite a few of my Kindle books have now been revised as well. So as people say about the Kindle books are full of errors, quite a lot of them have been revised now. For example, I recently put up a new revision of my first Commodore 64 A to Z. So that's that. So yeah, there obviously is the new reviews as well, 26 of them. So just to give a kind of flick through, you can see it all follows that pattern. And then we have some developer interviews in here as well. So I'm just going to go back to this for a moment. So there's one with Martin Hooley, who was the co-founder of Imagitech Design, who were a very, very prolific developer, who were based in Yorkshire, developed tons of games across almost every format you can think of. I think when I was compiling this, I found that they'd had a part in over 30 different Amstrad CPC games. So possibly even, the most prolific developer to work on the Amstrad CPC, certainly one of the most prolific. Because as well as their actual own development studio that they had obviously working on the games, they also had the Imagitech audio studio run by the amazing musician Barry Leach, very famous chiptune musician. And their audio studio would often do the music for other people's games. Often Gremlin was one that they worked with quite a lot. Chrysalis, there are a few others, but Gremlin a lot. Imagitech did the sound and music for a lot of Gremlin's products. And actually, funnily enough, in the end, it was Gremlin who took Imagitech Design over. They bought them out, and then Gremlin was subsequently bought out by Infogrames, who obviously then became Atari. So yeah, interesting history. But they worked on a lot of great stuff. So he's one of the developer interviews in there. Some great stories to tell from the Wild West days of the 8-bit video game development. I'll just stop at a page there so you can see a double page spread. We've got Mario, Mercs, Mind Trap, Milk Race. So yep, in M. So obviously the whole book is in full colour in this kind of A5-ish size. Interview with Kevin Toms, who obviously developed Football Manager among others, but that's what his name is famous for. And he recently bought the game back for mobiles and Steam, etc. as Football New Manager, which has gone down really, really well, been really popular. Let's see more of the book here. There is homebrew stuff in here as well as commercial games. I just want to point out actually, I'll go back a couple of pages to show that. Because, for example, in there, there on the S, we've got Shinobi, Space Harrier, and Star Raiders 2, all excellent conversions, actually. Shinobi and Star Raiders 2 are excellent conversions, anyway, to the Amstrad CPC. And there's a review of School Days, which, of course, was a homebrew port from the Spectrum, but a very good one. One of the best Amstrad CPC homebrews I've played, actually, while I was doing these books, so I had to get it in there. So stuff like that in there. Oh, I think I flicked past it, but there's another developer interviewed in there, Darren White, who actually worked on a lot of Amstrad CPC games, including Back to the Future 2 and Turrican, but he's most famous for being the creator of Oh Mummy, which of course was one of the pack-in games with the Amstrad CPC, and so holds a very, very special part in a lot of people's hearts. There's more and more and more. One of my cats is now hovering, having a look. So there's an Amsoft game actually in the book. About Amsoft games up there. There's a review of Xanagrams, and obviously we have the tape of Xanagrams up here. So yeah. There's some quite obscure stuff in here as well, like on the Z there, for example, Brilliant Zaptor Balls, which is an Amstrad CPC exclusive, which I did actually feature in a recent video I did on Amstrad CPC exclusives. If you want to check that out, I'll link it. And Zampa Bolas there, which is a kind of computerized version of Hungry Hippos that someone made for the Amstrad CPC. Originates from Spain. Very, very good. And then that's it. It goes to the end. Obviously tells you about some other books that have come out. And that's it, really. Oh, that's good. The whole lot just fell down as one of my cats jumped onto the edge of the sofa. So thanks for that, Daisy. Knocked everything down. But doesn't matter too much. We're pretty much at the end of the video. So I'll just show you quickly. We'll flick through the paperbacks. You can see it's exactly the same. It's really just the covers, but the content is obviously identical. So there is 260 game reviews in it. There is those 3 very, very cool developer interviews. I actually really like the developer interviews I got for this book, because they're 3 people with very, very different stories and perspectives, and people who'd had very, very different roles as well. So yeah, very, very interesting indeed. And that's it, really. There's not a lot more to say. This is available worldwide by Amazon, as I said. It's a print book. There is a paperback and a hardback, although because these print books have been so successful for the publisher, they are actually intending this year to bring out PDFs of the compendiums as well. So there will be a way to buy a digital version. I'm hoping sometime in the future. They're working on all of that, so I just pretty much leave them to it. I trust them to do a good job. And that's it. I thank you for watching. I hope you go out and buy this book. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back for more of the same very soon, I hope. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.